Hello, Mark Crossfield here. In my hands, Nike VRS Covert Tour 2.0 hitting up against the Ping G30. We've got a match-up time. I know these two drivers are different head styles and is somewhat advertised at different standards of golfers, but what's interesting, you got Rory just winning the British Open with his Covert VRS 2.0, and you got many of the Ping staff players using the G30, so that is very much the same caliber of player using quite different heads. Let's talk about why. Let's talk about which one performs better. We've got Titleist Pro V1X balls, my normal real gaming ball, which we've collected some data from GC2 on the floor here, so we've got some real numbers as well. Let's get stuck in. Here we go then, match-up time. I know everyone loves a good match-up. So let's go Nike VRS Covert Tour 2.0. Very striking red top, swoosh in the bottom right-hand corner, black face. You've got the hollowed out back, the cavity back technology, which is what Nike are calling this. I've used this driver before in the older version. I did actually love it. It's a very good club. I really like the red striking looks down to the red, to the black face. I think it looks really good. It's a nice smallest little pear shape. This one has a smaller head shape than the G30. I think it's 445, but you go on the website and check the exact. It certainly looks smaller down by the ball. It might be deeper, but it looks smaller. You get the changeable neck, every kind of loft. So from 8.5 all the way up to 12.5 on the changeable neck. So flex loft, as Nike are calling it, which is clever, gives you lots of different options, certainly for the fitter fitting you. You get next core face on the VRS Tour 2.0. So you're getting loads of tech in there, which they're saying is going to help you get distance and low speed and la-di-da-di-da, like everyone says. Used by Rory to win the British Open, just gone, or the Open. Not the British Open anymore, is it? G30 from Ping. We've got, you can change the loft with their changeable necks, much finer degrees. I think it's 1 degree or 0.6 to 1 degree either way. You get turbulators on top, so you get a very striking top. So it's a black top into a black face with white score lines, but you get these ridges on top which are helping with the airflow over the club. So they're trying to find out ways of maximizing club head speed in their design, because as hopefully you guys all know, the faces are kind of pushed to their tolerances, so it's quite an innovative way of trying to increase ball speed through club head speed delivery. Not going to work for everyone though, you've got to be hitting some certain kind of speeds really. Lots of people, those turbulators don't look great. I actually really like them now. They've really grown on me. They frame the ball up very well. Much bigger head in G30. G30 out of the two looks much more friendly. Now you've got to remember with Nike VRS Covert, you can get a bigger version of this club. This is the Tour version, the smaller one. Let's give them a hit. See how they feel. We've got some real ball data which we're going to present to you very soon. I'm just going to hit the range balls to start us off to get a bit of a feel and kind of ideas of how it feels as I swing it around my body. Nike VRS Covert Tour looks great down by the ball. I actually did prefer the shape of the original to this one, which is one of the reasons I changed. But this one still looks nice. Give it a hit. You've got to like the red head, and I do like the red colour. I think it's really striking. Hit that one nicely. It feels good off the face. Makes a nice, reasonable sound. It's not too loud. But it still feels quite firm with its noises off the face. Give it another hit. It's a good flight I put on this one. It does feel like a lowest spinning driver. Now I've got this one set up at 10.5 and the Ping down at 9, which we'll talk about as we look at the numbers. Let's give this another hit. I mean, I could very easily still game this driver. Hit that one really well. To be honest with you, I could game any modern driver because they're all very good. It's so much more down to looks and feel. Do you want to be striking red? Do you want to be Rory, or do you want to be Bubba? Or, you know, it's those kind of things. It's so much more into the branding now, where all these clubs are so tightly kind of their tolerances are so tight because of the governing bodies that put the tolerances on them. So look, Nike VRS Covert Tour looks good, feels nice off the face. We'll look at some real numbers in a second. The smaller head, I think for some people will be a little bit too much, so maybe not quite as stable as G30. So G30 I reckon could appeal to more a wider range of golfers, because obviously you've got the tour players using this club, and it could sell to a beginner. The Covert obviously comes in a bigger head as well. That is the tour version, so you can get most of the kind of tech that you get in that club, but take it into a bigger head if it is the more stability you're after. Let's give G30 a whack. I love the look at this down by the face. Certainly the turbulator's going to give this a bit of turbulation. Lots of people are struggling with, but definitely go and just look at it. You will be more surprised as you put it in your hand, I think. Let's give it a hit. Much bigger head down by the ball. It's a much bigger sound off the face. So lots of people, when you demo clubs with people and it makes that sound, they do really feel like it's going further, regardless of what the numbers say. They do feel like, because it's a bigger sound, like it's a bigger hit. I think G30, like I say, it will appeal to more golfers because of that size of the head, and it's going to be one of the most stable drivers out on the market. So what that means, if you're miss-hitting the centre of the club, it's going to twist less than certainly small-headed drivers out there and maybe some others. It is a great performing club for all levels of golfer. Let's give it one more hit. I really like the look of that. And again, I hit that well. It's a lovely flight. Now I've got both of these clubs spec'd up to try and get the most out of them for me, and it's interesting they're in different lofts. So let's look at some of the numbers and talk a little bit why they might need to be in different lofts for me, and then show you how that represents into some of the data. Right guys, numbers time. You're going to see I'm using a slightly different app for this actually. I've got the Ping N-Flight app, which I'm quite enjoying because you can kind of simulate a few shots to work out where optimum is. But anyway, here we go. Nike VRS, the Covert Tour in a 10.5 in their standard stiff shaft. So if we look at difference, averaging carry 264, average carry, top hit at 266, average ball speed 151, topping out at 153, launching at around 15 degrees. That's set up at 10.5 degrees loft. If we go on to the G30, 15.7 degrees loft launch, in the 9 degree, and then we've got 268 carry, so 268 playing 264, 4 yards in the carry, with a top ball speed of 155 compared to a 153. So that top ball speed off the ping is not coming from that face being fast. So I obviously just struck that one much better, or that little bit better than I did hit any of the shots with the Covert. So as you can see, their numbers are very, very similar. It's interesting how the G30 for me on those tests, spinning at 2.1 compared to 2.6 with the Covert Tour. Now I did hit the first one with 2.9 spin, so obviously caught that on a part of the face that made it spin a little bit too much. Average roll 276 with roll to 282 with roll with the ping. The roll's very predicted. Obviously roll, I would never work roll in, I would always carry is the thing I'm after. So 4 yards in it really, and a difference with those two. Bit less spin in the ping, which is interesting because you would often think that the Nike would spin less. I think for some of you out there it will. I think the ping just is a very good performing driver, along with the Covert. The whole thing with the Covert is you do want to be hitting the centre of the face if you're going for the Tour model a bit more. So obviously the matchup with these two, we get comments, why are you comparing those two? Because you're meant to be you, they're not comparable clubs. They're not comparable clubs as in, yes, there's a bigger version of the Covert which would be more comparable to G30, but they're comparable as in you've got Tour players using both sets, so the same standard of golfers. They're going for more of those personalised looks. They like the small head, like the bigger head, or obviously wherever the money lies on their branding kind of commitments. Also, these are two drivers that people do ask me about. I'm thinking of the Covert Tour or the G30. I know they're different, but which one might suit me better, la-di-da. Hence, this video is here. So you can see very similar performing clubs, slightly lower spinning on the ping for me. I have to have them set at different lofts. I think that's a very interesting point as well for you guys going out testing. You know, you go into your pro shop or into your range or wherever you go to try clubs and go, can I have I'm a 9 degree. You've got the Covert Tour and the G30, that ain't gonna work. You're not gonna get the similar launches. They're very different heads. CGs are in different places, which will present different launches and different spins. You need to go and get fit, guys. When you're spending this amount of money on, you know, tailored, very well made sports equipment, just give it the time and go and get fit and speak to someone who can help you work out what lofts might maximise out your game a little bit more. Both very good performing. G30 for me, out of those two, I still like the look of the Covert. I love the look of the red. I love the strikiness of it. On numbers, I would just sneak into the G30, but I do feel with a bit of tinkering on that Covert, I could get it to exactly the same. Very similar. Let me know. Post comments down below. Let me know what you think. Which one have you tried or not tried? Love or hate? I'd love to know. Thanks for watching. Speak to you soon. So if you like what's going on here, don't be afraid to subscribe to the channel. Also thumbs up the video, post comments. Love to hear what you guys got to say. Let's keep it social. The more we talk, the more we share, the easier this game will get for everybody. So if you want to find me on Facebook here, you can find me on Facebook. If you want to tweet me, find me on Twitter here as well. Just follow the links, all in the description. Come and join the show. Get active, get involved, get playing some better golf. Thanks for watching. Hello, Mark Crossfield here. In my hands, Nike VRS Covert Tour 2.0 hitting up against the Ping G30. We've got a match-up time. I know these two drivers are different head styles and is somewhat advertised at different standards of golfers, but what's interesting, you got Rory just winning the British Open with his Covert VRS 2.0, and you got many of the Ping staff players using the G30, so that is very much the same caliber of player using quite different heads. Let's talk about why. Let's talk about which one performs better. We've got Titleist Pro V1X balls, my normal real gaming ball, which we've collected some data from GC2 on the floor here, so we've got some real numbers as well. Let's get stuck in. Here we go then, match-up time. I know everyone loves a good match-up. So let's go Nike VRS Covert Tour 2.0. Very striking red top, swoosh in the bottom right-hand corner, black face. You've got the hollowed out back, the cavity